No data, excellent connection. Okay, we're almost good. And it should be, let's see. Okay, we are live, guys. So welcome, guys, to a very special episode of Box Mining here. We got right beside me over there, we got this the CEO of Vechain, Sunny Lu. Today is going to be a very amazing session. You guys have requested a live video, live interview with him. A few people have joked about this, and I made it happen. So thank you. And Sunny, actually, not I made it happen. Sunny made it happen.
No, you did.
Okay, we are live, guys. So welcome, guys, to a very special episode of Box Mining here. We got
questions.
Sorry for the double. Sorry, just a second. The video cut off. So yeah, thank you so much, Sunny, for coming. Sorry, there was a very second of some audio bleeding back in, but we are good, guys. So yeah, Sunny, yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Sure, no worry. And I'm very happy to be in your session.
Awesome. So let's start with some really basic stuff. So I know a lot of people have been looking at Vechain recently. Can you give me just a brief rundown, like for anyone beginner coming into this space, what is Vechain?
Well, Vechain is the next generation smart contract platform, also a public blockchain. And we have been devoted ourselves to build blockchain applications for enterprise level. Let's say. And to be proud to say, if we talk about all of the public blockchain platforms, in terms of enterprise adoptions, I would say Vechain is the number one so far. We have been targeting and been delivering lots of applications in the different territories, like BYD, BMW for automobile, Givenchy, H&M for fashion luxury, Walmart China for food safety. DNV, Geo, and PwC. So it's lots of big names, and that's I'm really proud about that.
Awesome. So okay, you got all these partners, and they're doing a lot of different applications on Vechain. It's a platform to do enterprise, but why move to blockchain? Why can't they do decentralized? What's the advantage of doing something on Vechain? What's in it for them?
That's a very, let's say, kind of fundamental question.
Yes, very fun. Right? Well, I'm starting off with the very basics, and we're going to dive into the harder stuff. But, I pulled myself back right before this episode. I'm like, you know what? If this video was for someone that's never seen Vechain before, I know you guys, especially from the live chat, you guys have been here for a long time. But for anyone new, we'll start off the basics, and we'll dive straight into the advanced stuff. So, new stuff.
Sure. All right. Well, we got a short version and long version. Let's start with the short version. The short version is blockchain is a trust machine. Because of decentralized technical structure and also the immutability of the data on the blockchain, you kind of generate the unique trust feature to any kind of data or business activities running on the blockchain. So to solve any kind of trust issue, or let's create the trust-free world, then you need a blockchain other than the centralized database. Because if you got everything running on the centralized database, you really need to rely on the people who is running behind the centralized database or the systems. You have to trust them. And if they somehow decide to play something dirty or evil, you have nothing to do with that. So to aim for the better word, blockchain is something really has to be there. On top of that, I want to put some extra comments. After COVID-19 situation, lots of enterprises or lots of entities, even authority from the different government, just realize, we got to do the digitalization, because more and more things, more and more activities, business collaborations has to run online, has to rely on digital version of Word, right? And blockchain as a trust machine is, let's say, the first fundamental infrastructure technology you gotta do. Based on the recent cases or talkings, conversations with multiple different entities, I would say, in summary, digitalization is a new black, and blockchain is the most important elements among all of them.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, adding to the COVID case, Yeah, especially now, everything's being done online. A lot more is being done online, and we need to establish that trust. And obviously, because you've been building partnerships for the longest amount of time, I think this is the first proper enterprise blockchain I've ever looked at. I think you said this once. I think the last interview, you're the only one that's mature in the space. So, okay, let's dive a little bit further. So, I mean, I've been to the Vechain events. I've seen the partnerships with different companies, but how's that progressing right now? What's being done that's concrete? What's been developing since the last kind of few years? What's been brewing up in the background?
Well, actually, we have done lots of things. Like I mentioned, in terms of the enterprise level adoption, VeChain is number one in the world, which is really true. And in the last 3-4 years, we have been devoting ourselves on this level. As last time we talked about in San Francisco, I remember, it was just the first period for VeChain mainnet was launched, and we did the first VeChain Vefam, to brief about our infrastructures, our services and tools. So we have been focused on this period and focused on this territory, and we even wanted to go more. What we want to go more is we actually make our VeChain Toolchain even better every day. We continue to iterate that kind of tool, which I would say is very important for the mass adoptions. Just give an example, if we think about enterprise try to build up e-commerce platform 25 or 30 years ago, it was so tough. It was really hard. You got to build everything from scratch because, there is no, let's say, standard tool or best practice in the market you can refer to or you can use to. But nowadays, it's super easy for anyone who wants to build an e-commerce platform.
Yes.
You don't need to build anything. Just go to Amazon, go to Tmall, right? You got everything to cover. While blockchain is kind of like 20 years ago for e-commerce. When you try to build everything or you try to build from scratch, it's so tough. It's very difficult. So what we try to do is to ease that kind of process. That's what VeChain Toolchain is going to do. And we, based on what we have done in the past for 60, 70, 80 different use cases across different territories, we summarize and we continue to polish the tool, try to make anyone can build whatever the POC or production phases or skill up applications super easily.
Awesome.
I can give you some numbers.
Okay, yeah, give me some numbers. Just a pause for a second. So, just to explain a little bit. So, I showed you guys the Vechain Toolchain last, I think a year and a half ago in the Vechain DevCon. Right. It was a system to create tags. It was a kind of a kit for anyone to get on the blockchain real fast. So, I think that was quite cool, and it's good to hear this update. So, what are the stats? Are people using this right now? What are the numbers?
Well, lots of people are starting to use them. Actually, since you're right. Since 1.5 years ago, we made a lot of upgrades, a lot of iterations. So far, there are 4 fundamental modules for Vechain Toolchain. Comparing last year, just maybe 1 or 2 modules. The first one is the standard templates. Like I mentioned, based on the use case we have done, we create the templates according to the different territories or different industries. Imagine you are a supermarket, you can refer to Walmart China case, or you are a fashion division, you can refer to H&M or Givenchy cases, to use the similar templates and to create whatever the POC or production very easily, in weeks. Okay, so I given a number. There is maybe I shouldn't say the name, but there was a project in the United States in 2016 or 17. They tried to create a food safety platform using another, famous blockchain platform. It took 14 months. Took 14 months for just a trial period or POC or something. And while we try to do the similar for, let's say, Walmart China, it took us 3 months to finish everything. And early this year, when we migrate to Sam's Club, it only take 3 weeks. So our target is if you are starting to use a template, you just need a couple of days or 1 week maximum. You can create something. So you don't have to wait like 9 months to create a POC and to show the boss, say, hey, remember the initiative I discussed 9 months ago? Now I have something to show you. Like maybe the executive team were like, what are you talking about? I already forgot about that. So that's about the first module. And the second module is, even the same industry, but two different companies could have some two different specs or requirements or processes. So eventually everybody looking for a customization. So we have a customization module is called builder. You can build your own process. You can build on your own assets or your own service within this tool very easily, like drag and play. And then you can migrate your own specific business process onto the Vechain blockchain like super easily. It takes a little bit longer, but we're talking about like a couple of weeks as well.
That's crazy. That's quite crazy.
Yeah.
So it's all about basically, so just from my understanding of this, I'll paraphrase a little bit. So it's all about getting this adopted in enterprise. And because there's already use cases already, whether it's food safety with Walmart or with tracking wine or etc., people can jump on much easier because they have a proven use case, a proven case studies to go from. So it's both not only more proven, but it's also faster to just straight and hop in and deploy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Nice. And then, okay, so you said the third point is, sorry for interrupting you there.
No problem. The third module is actually when you migrate your business process, with two modules, probably already cover 95% of the requirements from anyone, and you have something running on the blockchain, and you are start to collect the data. But how are you going to show the value of the blockchain? You want to, in short, like how to make, how to make the data on the blockchain visible and touchable, like let normal people can see it. Then you need some kind of standard tool or standard process to reveal the value. So that's what we call landing page, which, to generate the different form of value using the blockchain or try to valuelize the data on the blockchain to normal people, either to show the level of food safety or sustainability contributes from, the entire manufacturing processes, or simply that's just traceability to show the origin of whatever the product's coming from. So that is also very important because honestly, eventually that technology, blockchain needs to serve the normal people, to serve the business, to show the value. So that's very important as well.
So it's really a two-pronged approach. So from the business side, and then from eventually bringing that benefit to consumers, whether it's consumers going to Walmart, scanning that food, and right now it's the products live in Walmart right now in China, right? How many Walmarts are using that? Because obviously with COVID, I can't go to Walmart. So how many Walmarts are using it? What's happening there?
Well, they're using that for right now. I think let me check some numbers. We got a review like last week actually.
Oh, nice.
If I remember correctly, it's like 20 something suppliers for Walmart and another 20 or 30 for Sam's Club or something. Oh wait. Anyway, it kind of generates like 50,000 transactions, more than 50,000 transactions per day.
50,000 transactions per day. So all that data is being generated. Vechain's already, the network's processing that. And of course, it becomes transparent for the user at the end. So 50,000 something odd transactions. People can see where the food is going, where it's going from. So where can this go from here? Where can we push? What's the next level to push this then? So can we apply this to even more stuff?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that's how that's the mission of a Vechain Toolchain. Because with this kind of tool, for lots of enterprises can just easily to replicate whatever we have done in the past, and could be easily to scale up. I give you another example. We built a tool for DMV Geo recently. It's called MyCare. Okay, well, actually, DMV Geo start to build up the service like 2 months ago. They just wanted to say, The My Care service is actually helping helping whatever the people or government fighting against COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Right now in China, everybody has so-called green code. You show your mobile green code on
Oh,
your mobile phone, it proves like you're safe, your virus clean, or whatever, right?
right.
But also, what about the public places? If you want to go to a hotel, if you want to go to a shopping mall, or you simply go to the manufacturer, you're working with 5,000 people, you're going to worry about, is that place safe enough? So the My Care service is actually helping those public facilities to generate the green code to show anyone coming in and out, including different perspectives. For example, for a hotel, there is a process to check the swimming pool, check the restaurant, check the reception process, check the like a cleaning procedure for the rooms, whatever. And in summary, you kind of give a general status to the public place, like, oh, this hotel is safe. When you travel there, you just scan the QR code in the front desk, and you find out, oh, okay, this hotel is fine, and the green code is from the data on today. And
That's
that
cool.
also,
So that tracks
so
everyone
my
there, but okay. So just to interject, I'm sorry for the lag. Sometimes there's lag between us conversations. But
okay.
one question here I would say is like, how about privacy for that? That means you're tracking everyone who enters a location, right? So does that mean that it would also reveal where I've been in a day as well if I have both the green code and for the entire place, because the place scans my code, right? And then does that reveal to the entire world that I've been here as well? Oh, sorry, just a bit of lag. Sorry, just Sunny just cut off for 1 second there. Sorry for this, guys. It is a live interview. We've got quite a few questions. I will get through the questions, but I'm just gonna try to sort out this lag for a sec. Let me just see if I can get Sunny back on. Let's see. Sunny's frozen. Oh no. Okay, Sunny. Hey, Sunny. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now, because you were frozen for just
okay.
like 1 second just there. So yeah, that's your internet for you.
Yeah. Yeah, actually you were talking about the green code for the individuals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, actually that's we have nothing to do with that actually in China. It usually coming from Tencent or Alipay. I'm talking about the green code
for the location.
The public places, like
got it.
Like the location. Okay. So but for that part, it's basically based on the usual operation activities done by the public places.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for the privacy, but you just made the right point. Actually, there is another partner we call it's called Identity in Cyprus. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's a joint venture company like from Italy and Cyprus. They build like health code for the people in Cyprus or anyone travel to Cyprus, and because of the blockchain, because of Vechain blockchain technology, they can, really protect the privacy for people. So even, we gotta comply with the GDPR. Actually, we try to make as a good sample to answer back the GDPR. Like that's how we use blockchain technology to not only helping people fighting against the COVID-19, but also comply with GDPR.
Okay, so there's multiple layers to this. That's interesting. So next, so we see these use cases. It's being used in new applications now, even in health. So you made a recent statement, and I think this is asked just now. So I thought this question, I was like glancing at questions just now. So you made a recent statement about generating 1 million transactions. How do you plan to achieve this, or where do you think this can come from? Like where, how do you want to get so much activity on the blockchain?
Well, like I've been talking for years, I think, well, I'm not saying like I'm undermining the technical people, but I think right now, for the entire blockchain space, we need a more professional people. We need a more business people to transform the technology value to some kind of business value. So we need a, the business use case design, product design, or even the interface design to let more people can get the benefits or take the benefits from this technology. So that's why we have been devoting ourselves to working with different enterprises. And when I talk about the enterprise, not just those big giant players in the market, but also small middle-sized business as well, SME. That's how Vechain Toolchain is designed for. Using the simple tool and low entry cost structure for those even small business can start very easily.
So yeah, I guess it's cool because you talked about that earlier, right? So it was all about getting the big players to do that trial run to make sure that it works, to get through all the kinks. And then, of course, now you can apply it to a broader spectrum. And that's where you can get more and more transactions, more and more people hopping on board, directly deploying that. So this leads to a good question. So I built a questions list right before we started this. It was on boxmoney.com, and we had some amazing questions to do this. And this one, let me just try to find it. I'll always have, okay, so let me just find this right here. Okay, so this is from Dr. Robert K. He says, I'm a potential customer, but I had no luck getting through to somebody from Vechain that could support us. So the question is, which is the best way to get involved for potential customers?
I don't get it like very clearly.
So I think he tried to reach the Vechain. Like, who's the best person to reach if he's a small business or he says he's a potential customer. So how would he get involved? How would he be able to use Toolchain or contact someone to be able to use it?
Well, firstly, we had a lots of updates or websites like vechain.org. You can check all of the like white paper and documents, and also you could have a link access to Vechain tools, and also you can send the email to bd@vechain.com, to try to get the more information or support. But again, we got like thousands of emails flooding into the email box, and we're a small startup. Totally, right now we have a little bit less than 70 people globally. Imagine the mismatch of the resource and the request. But we're trying to do something, make it like Vechain Toolchain more standardized, more easy to understand, easy to use. Like I mentioned, we continue to iterate the Vechain Toolchain. The next milestone for us is to make the UI more Western friendly, more easy to start, that kind of way. So, and also try to merge the two websites, like vechain.org, like official websites, and the Vechain websites merged to one, so people are easily to access that.
Got it.
Again, there are already lots of information online, and we're still trying to make it better every day.
Got it. So, quick summary: bd@vechain.org or .com, if you want to just email you.
Right.
Is it Vechain at bd@vechain.com or .org? Sorry,
it's a bd@vechain.com.
Yeah, vechain@vechain.com. So email will probably be good, and also just a lot more material available. And I just had a cool question pop up on live chat. I am reading live chat. It's a little bit slow, and we'll open up more questions for the live chat once we've gone through the questions. But I saw this one, which is pretty cool. So Rick Vipermoto says, correct, Sunny, crypto space is currently a casino with mass adoption. So when are you going to push for mass adoption?
Well, sometimes it's true, but we're doing it. Like I mentioned, we're continuing to build the paid or valuable transactions coming from the different enterprises, like I mentioned about the Walmart China before. I give you some numbers. When we launched the mainnet of Vechain in June 30 of 2018, and when we measure the entire mainnet for the 6 months, for the 2018, the total transaction was like 500,000. for 6 months. But in 2019, if we look at the transaction number for 12 months, we're talking about 36 million. So from 500,000 for 6 months to 36 million in 12 months, it's like a big jump. And in 2020, we already make almost 100,000 transactions per day.
Oh, wow.
Well, for sure. There were like, slow time during the February, March during the COVID-19. Even in the April and May, we have lots of projects on hold, especially in the Europe or US markets. But still in June, we roughly can make 100,000 transactions per day. And if we keep that kind of speed, we're talking about 360 million per year. So you can see the growth rate in terms of the transaction volume. So I'm not saying today we already reach the mass adoption level. You can call the entire space as casino, fine. But given like a couple of years, if we keep this kind of growth rate, I mean, at least the Vechain is not going to be a casino.
That's confidently said. So yeah, that's an astronomical growth. So that's transaction. It started off a little bit slow because the mainnet was being deployed, but once it started ramping up, I mean, 100,000 transactions, that's not a small amount. That's moving towards that goal. I think that's definitely reachable as well. So following the questions, I think there was a lot of questions on this, and I hope you don't mind me asking this, but I think this is giving credit to Oculum Razor, and we have quite a few people asking about Coinbase listing. I think a lot of people want to get listed on Coinbase. Can you give us any comments on that?
No comments. I already made some kind of I quote like Sunny smile for the last time. I'm not gonna follow that trap again. So no comment.
No comment. All right. Okay. So yeah. So that's why Adil Tarek also asking Coinbase when no comment. That's your reply, guys. All right. Moving on to the interview, to the more serious. Actually, you know what? Let's move to some of the silly stuff. I wanted to ask some silly questions. Yeah. So just for fun, let's take a break. We'll do some funny questions and then we'll go and we'll take some funny questions from live. So obviously we have a big Belgian community. So Massive asks, what is your favorite Belgian beer?
Huh?
What's your favorite
Belgian beer?
Yeah, favorite Belgian beer. You have to be specific. You gotta impress the Belgian community here.
Honestly, it's a really hard question. Okay, I'm gonna answer in my way. Firstly, I don't drink too much beer, especially nowadays, because I'm working out so much.
Oh yeah, you're looking good.
And drinking beer is kind of like the biggest enemy, one of the biggest enemy to work out. So I don't drink any beer like for maybe 6 months now.
Oh wow.
That's first. And second thing is when I work in Louis Vuitton, I travel to Belgium, like Brussels, all the time. Because the biggest co-sender of Louis Vuitton Global is there. I got something to do with there. So every time I travel to Brussels, every time people would tell me this is a place for beer. Like they generate the biggest volume or different kinds of beer in the world. So every time I just like surprise me. I don't know what kind of the name or brand or whatever, it just surprised me. And surprisingly, every time is good. It's really good. So if you ask about the name of the brand, I don't really remember. But I just know they have so many different brands of.
It's crazy. It's really good. Last time I was there, chocolate and beer. It's just so good. I love Brussels. I want to go back again.
Chocolate, right?
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so this is something weird as well. This is another weird question from Z-Man. It says, okay, if you can change one letter of your first name, okay, what would this new letter be? So would it be funny, honey, or else? This is the most bizarre question I can find. So change the first letter of your name.
Well, I gotta take the F word. Funny. Well, honestly, what is the meaning of doing whatever the hardworking or amazing stuff or projects, or it's all about the fun, right? That's the only way you can keep it passionate and doing that. So if you call me Funny Lou, I'm okay with that.
Funny Lou it is, guys. That is the most bizarre question, but I think it's absolutely funny. So, okay, we got Seihan says keep the chocolate away from beer. I think if we did ever travel to Belgium and we just dine on chocolate and beer, it's not going to end well. But
yeah, well, chocolate is my daughter's thing. It's I have done like with chocolate for many years.
Well, I have a soft spot in my heart for chocolate. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorites. All right, so let's go back to serious questions. Well, we'll go switch in between this. So right now, guys, we'll be answering some questions as well from live chat. Some questions people are saying Gunny Lou. Gunny Lou would be quite good. Gunny Lou. You'd be a gun, you know? Boom. All right, so some people are asking about more stable growth. So I think this is because, Vechain VTO consumption was kind of like, in waves almost at a certain time. Again, why was that? And can we expect more stable growth? This is from, I think it's from Robert. So yeah, this is a cool question.
Okay, so that's a really big question. Honestly, I would say refer to the white paper on the vechain.org. There is a specific section about economics and the governance to explain about why we design and how we wanted to manage or maintain the VET and the VSOR, that kind of collaboration. But simply to say, VET and the VSOR represents two different level of purpose or functionalities in terms of the token. And the VSOR, actually, the reason we did that, because we really care about, we listen to those big enterprises or any enterprises. We actually interview 40, 50 different executives from different enterprises, ask about, what is a barrier, what is your requirement if you try to build application on the public blockchain. One of the very good point is they don't want to see the cost to use blockchain platform is fluctuated too much. Actually, we already seeing whatever in Bitcoin or Ethereum, when the network get congested or the token price goes up to the roof, and the cost of using the public blockchain is also, rising up too much as well.
I mean, gas prices are 81 gray right now. I'm paying at least $6 for any contract interaction. So that's
I know, right? So eventually it's kind of paradox. It's a typical paradox. Meaning if you have more use case about your public blockchain platform, it represents your platform is more needed, like more people demand it. And it kind of create the demand of the token as well, so the token price goes up. But at the same time, that means the higher cost of using that blockchain, it kind of diminish, the demand of the people. Like, hey, it's too expensive to use that. I shouldn't use that. So it's kind of like paradox. So that's why we separate with VET and VSOR. And how we define the VSOR volume is based on how much percentage of the capacity of Vechain gonna be used. So like I mentioned, we're rising up from 500,000 to 36 million a year. And this year probably we can reach like more than 300 million. And next year it could be, I don't know, 6 or 7 even. So when we have more use case, the capacity of the entire Vechain blockchain will be used, will be higher. And then VSOR will demand more. And then we're able to, analyze the model, analyze the token economics of the VSOR. They can get a better model of VSOR, like how much we should generate it, how much should be consumed, or how we should maintain. It's kind of like we're solving a mission impossible, which to guarantee the VET holders or authority nodes has enough rewards to doing, to participate the game. Meanwhile, keep the relatively stable and a lower cost for enterprise coming in, right?
So it's a balancing act between the current users and new users and trying to get everyone in a nice place, right?
Yes. And also, if the number not hitting big enough, you cannot get the perfect model. So there must be some stages. Someone gets kind of compromised, someone not compromised, or someone will be compromised later. But eventually, we can reach the perfect balance. Or we always try to push, the balance to be in a perfect shape. Always. That's our mission.
Awesome.
But also at the same time, you can see. Actually, this last week, Binance just announced like they're gonna list the VSOR.
Yeah, and the prices just went up as well. That's crazy. Is that good or bad?
Well, I mean, that's why I said sometimes you gotta manage the compromise a little bit. For sure, those enterprises like, hey, WTF, right? But the token holders are happy for that. So eventually, we need to manage the balance like a little by little. But
and you also need to get the projects themselves who use it to also get some VET, so they generate enough gas for their own transactions, right?
You're right. That's exactly right.
That's the objective. Interesting. Okay, so it's all about the balance. You need to balance it up, and then you need to make sure it's stabilized and good to go. Now, we wanted to. So this is from Mad Uploads. They want a little bit more information because today there's an announcement, today's news with the Coreretti agricultural deal. Can you tell me a little bit? So thank you, Mad Uploads, for this question.
Okay, so you just make a very good pronunciation about the Italian. Actually, I never made it right. To be honest, I always call it like Token Farm, which is a company associated to National Farmer Association of Italy. Well, to be honest, I was a little bit surprised to see that because usually, we should have some PR release about that, but I guess they're just too excited about this project. What I can just tell you, because I didn't check with them, I don't know how much I can say right now. But
getting the inside scoop, guys.
But probably you can kind of pick up some sense out of the name. Like I mentioned, it's called National Farmer Association. So for entire Italy, and Italy is really famous about agriculture products. There are lots of good agriculture products, like wine, like olive oil, like tomatoes, and and linguine or any kind of
this is how well does Sunny know Italy?
Well, I've been spending some time in Milan. I really like the place. But anyway, so what I
truffles.
truffles as well. What I can say is, firstly, DMVGO is definitely part of that because they got a very strong presence in Italy, and they have been working with National Farmer Association very closely, and Renato sitting in the National Blockchain Association for Italy, and he even made like a pitch to the like a mini prime minister and or the entire board as well. So I'm not really surprised to see that. We have been talking about that for a year. I think more than a year. I guess because of COVID-19, it's kind of delayed, but now it's ready. But anyway, I have some work to do because I saw the news like a couple hours as well. I was sending the message to people in Italy like, hey, what can I say about that? So I just. But I would say it's huge. It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be awesome.
Because, yeah, I mean, it could be some kind of standard using the blockchain technology to helping agriculture products in Italy, especially during the COVID-19, or post the COVID-19 period. More people are concerning about the food safety, the environmental issues, or cleaning water, those kind of things. And I give an example, a very good example. right now, China is being reported to, firstly, China is, during the COVID-19 situation, China is best performing country. Take like 2 months and contain the virus situation, the business just back to normal, right? So China, I would say, becomes the most attractive market for anyone. They just want to say, oh, we want to sell the stuff to the Chinese market because their business is still normal. However, recently there are like salmon fish has been reported to contain some or tested to be positive of COVID-19, and some like shrimp has been tested positive as well. So there is a new policy for China custom, like any kind of a new imported products or especially food to China, they got to do testing for COVID-19, like before they can officially import it to China market.
I didn't know that.
It's insane. It's like a super low efficient. And how could you expect a custom like doing the COVID-19 testing for everything? It's impossible. So that means it could kind of delay the importing process, and lots of food maybe just rotted or going bad during this kind of process, because it's going to take weeks, right?
Right.
So if let's say if the products already has somehow can be proved to be clean before going to China market, and also the testing results made by the reputable service provider like DMVGO, and the records and stored in the blockchain, let everybody to believe that. Imagine how big about that.
That's awesome. That's a crazy application. That is a crazy application. You can actually see it, scan it, and then it's good to go or not. So I think that's interesting.
Again, I want to clear this very carefully, because I don't want to make any kind of mistakes. I'm talking about the future, okay?
Not now. Before things go crazy.
Yeah. So don't speculate. Don't speculate. At least there are lots of work to do. Lots work to do. But we have been working on that like very seriously.
That's awesome. I mean, for sure. I think it's unfortunate that this event happened, but at the same time, it made people more aware that we need to keep a better eye on what's going on. And if it's actually required now, it's required to be checked. That's crazy. That's crazy, because you already have a solution to that. All right, so sorry about this. So I always have like this issue, because sometimes when we call Zoom, there's always a delay. So if I always interrupt you, I'm always so conscious of this. So apologies ahead of time.
No worry.
We got a good question from Vechain Tim. Not sure if it's a good or bad question. Sunny, do you believe that Vechain can overtake Ethereum market cap in the long run? That's a price-related question, but speculation. Here we go.
Well, I'm not gonna stop until I reach there. Again, I show the full respect to Ethereum. I think if you stay in the Vechain community long enough, you will know the fact when we write the first Genesis block, when we launch the mainnet officially of Vechain, we write salute to Ethereum in our Genesis block. So definitely we show the respect to Ethereum, and I show the respect to Vitalik as well. But the record is made to be broken, and the master is made to be override, let's say someday. If we can do that someday, I'll be really happy. And I think that also shows the entire blockchain space is really making the breaking through somehow, because we're talking about mass adoptions, not only technology invention, but mass adoptions with business value can really show the right place in the ladder. So yeah, that's what I mean.
So thank you, Ethereum, but you're not going to stop until you beat it. Great answer, Sunny. All right, so Okay, so this is actually a question for me. So something that I've always been concerned about with Vechain is obviously, okay, you're talking about enterprise. You've got these great partners with DMVGL, PwC, auditing firms. But what prevents these auditing firms from cooking up their own version of something similar to Vechain to compete with Vechain? How can you, are you concerned about that? Is that worrying for you?
No, no, not really. Firstly, I'm really confident about, we have been focused on this territory or this direction for like 3 and 4 years. We're kind of leading the way for anyone in the market for at least like a couple of years, to be honest. I'm really confident about that. Secondly, for enterprise, they are rational. They're not like, oh, I want to override you or I want to compete you, that kind of way. They're they're really like rational in terms of business analysis. If they find out what Vechain can do, can make the best ROI for them, or can make the quickest delivery in the market, and try to gain the leading position in the market, why would they? Why wouldn't they? Right? They can make the best decision about that. But also, it's kind of challenging for us. That means we always need to deliver the most advanced and the right, whatever the tools and service to those enterprise. Otherwise, we will be beaten somehow. So that's a motivation. That's kind of like the sword over my head. I gotta make sure my team is doing the right thing every day.
You gotta
so
be
far so good. I was
a few steps ahead of everyone else. Be ready with the product and just be better than everyone else. I think that's a competitive spirit coming in. Okay, so this question comes from Isan F. So this is about the transactions per second. I think a lot of people want to know where we're going to go. I mean, 1 million transactions, that's a lot of transactions. So this comes from 1,000 transactions a day is only 36 million a year, not 360 million. Can you get them to clarify on these numbers for transactions going forward?
Oh yeah, sorry, I made the because I was always thinking about the small milestone for Vechain is make like 1 million transactions per day, so we can reach to 360 million per year. I guess I was like totally obsessed about this target. I was repeating to this target to everyone in my team, like go to make like 300 million per year, that kind of thing. So but I'm sorry for that. Yeah, my math is still right. If we make 100,000 per day, that's 36 million per year. Yeah, you're right.
Excellent. Okay, so let's see. Okay. We actually have some very good questions. So guys, thank you so much for asking questions. We are both watching the questions live stream. That's why my eyes are glancing up to find the best questions to ask Sunny. So if you guys have any questions, do ask away in the live chat. Really, really appreciate it. And of course, if you guys appreciate the stream, thanks Sunny so much for his time as well. You should send a personal appreciation to Sunny as well. You guys are awesome. And okay, so any updates on POA 2.0 Surface? When is this upgrade going to happen?
Well, okay, so I guess you guys need to refresh the video made by Peter Zhou from our bootcamp. Wait, I think Peter is going to, maybe Peter is going to give him more introduction of POA 2.0 like in the coming weeks. Firstly, you can always go to the media websites of Vechain official, Vechain Foundation on the medium to find the details of POA 2.0. But also in terms of the delivery or the target, I think we going to have there were 2 phases. The first phase probably going to be like end of this year, and the next phase will be like Q1 or Q2 next year. But we want to take it very slow because this is a core fundamental technology in terms of the entire blockchain platform, not only about the consensus but also linked to the security, linked to the future scalability, performance. So we want to be like completely right and completely safe to do that. So actually there are 2 Vechain improvement proposal has been approved. One is the VIP 193, basically to improve the efficiency of the transaction and also the security, generally speaking. And also VIP 200 as the first VIP in this year. We're gonna conduct some kind of BFT, technology into or BFT algorithm into the POA 2.0 to even make security level to the next level, let's say. So it's, I would say, in terms of the POA 2.0, the design is quite good, and now we're working on the coding, working on the testing phase, targeting to have the first VIP delivered by end of the year, and the next one could be the next year.
Nice. So good to hear that. And VIP 200, that's a lot of VIPs. I didn't realize we're up to that many already, but things do move fast. Okay, so there was also a very good question. So I was just scouting for good questions, and this one comes from a competition with IBM. So obviously, I think there's a lot of talk about different competition, and I think you kind of answered this with other ones, like other audit companies. But what about IBM and the big tech giants? Do you see any competition from those guys as well?
I would say, okay, generally speaking, I'm not really worried about that kind of situation, because right now the market is still like so big, so vast. Like everybody could have, the way, or at least the opportunity to become the big. And so far, I'm quite confident like Vechain is in a good path. At least, we have been serving or working to deliver 30, 80 different use cases, while they didn't choose IBM, let's say, somehow, right? There must be some like unique features. I don't want to badmouth about others. I'm still a really nice and decent guy.
Right.
So, but I would say we have our advantages. We have our unique features. Basically, to say a standard tool and best practices are making delivery like super quick and lower cost. It's very good to different enterprises. And on top of that, I just wanted to mention about the Walmart China case.
Oh yes, see, this is exactly this is Benito Camila. So just you jump right into this question. So like Walmart China case, what's happening there? Because there's apparently a solution produced by IBM for Walmart China as well, right? So I guess Benito, thank you. Hope this answers your question. Let's go, Sunny. Sorry.
No. Actually, IBM did the Food Trust platform for Walmart US, and we did the similar food safety platform for Walmart China in 2019 and replicate to Sam's Club in 2020. Okay, and it will continue to grow the scale of the production and to bring more and more products onto this platform. And there are several, I would say, key successful factors to Walmart China case and Sam's Club case. But in summary, I would say, most of the we call blockchain projects, right? It cannot be a technical project. It has to be a business project. So very key important contributor is actually PwC, Private Waterhouse Cooper. They made the entire, from design to the implementation to the review, like super smooth, while Vechain can focus on what we are good at, which is a technical delivery and tool setup, that kind of thing. So, and also we're not only talking about building this platform for Walmart China, we're also talking about connecting to the different suppliers. Like I mentioned, we're talking about, totally maybe 40, 50 different suppliers, and could be up to 200, 300, even 2,000 in the future. So how you can make, the faster replication for those suppliers, PwC has made lots of efforts on that. And they define the different scenarios, like, if the supplier has the system already, so they are looking for quick integration, right? Or the supplier has system but not able to integrate very easily. How are we going to do? Or third, some supplier doesn't even have a system. They might just using Excel to manage their stock or logistic process. How are you going to deliver a simple portal for them to connect into the platform very easily? I tell you the fact, some of the suppliers even like saying, oh, that's good. We don't have a system before. Now we have a system to manage that. Could you give me some reports, what I, providing to a Walmart or something? So what I mentioned, like, building up not only about the tools, the readiness of the tools and services, but also a very professional business partners, whatever, like a DMVG or PwC or Deloitte, is very important. I have to reinforce one more time, every blockchain project cannot be a technical project. It has to be a business project.
So it's all about business project, and because Vechain already has the tools to implement not just Walmart, but Walmart's partners, even those without any technical or stock management system, you can just slap your solution on, and that's already there. So that's your advantage right there. Excellent. And obviously with your partners with PwC, of course, that's the solution. Got it. Okay, so we'll do. Let's limit this to around let's say around 10 more minutes. Okay, let's see if we can go to 10 more minutes of Q&A, and we'll wrap this session up. And by the way, Sunny, thank you so much. I think a big appreciation also goes out to Sunny. This is, for both of us, it is already 11 p.m., so it's late in the night, but we found this was the best time for us to do it. So I hope you guys can really appreciate and thank Sunny for coming here at this solution at this time.
That's okay. That's my routine schedule every day, almost every day.
Yeah? You worked until so late, huh?
Oh yeah.
Nice. So have you been traveling a lot? I've been wondering, because ever since the outbreak of COVID, have you been traveling a lot? How's everything going on that side? Can you successfully complete your business without traveling?
Well, for sure, without traveling, there are many things has to be on hold. Not only about the traveling, but also generally speaking, the COVID-19 impacts to whatever Europe and the US, especially right now. But I would say since June, we can see the positive sign from, especially in Europe. US, maybe it's a different story right now. But Europe is getting better. But still, again, it's not that convenient. Like last year, last year I traveled like 400,000 kilometers. For a whole year.
Yeah, because I heard you're traveling like nonstop, like just multiple hops every day, right? So
yeah. For sure, when you travel, you can seize almost like every critical business opportunities. You are able to talking to those very smart people. You already get inspired. You can find new use case, new partners for sure. But right now, I would say the first 3 or 4 months from February to June, people just get like, oh, we gotta do online, or like I have to work from home. My kids always interrupt, and my dogs are always barking. I got.
It's okay.
Distracted.
You got Deadpool in the background.
Yeah, something like that. But nowadays, getting an online conference or doing a webinar sessions, it's kind of new routines. I would say more and more people get used to about that, and even figure out like, why bother? It's more efficient and cost effective. Honestly, I save a huge cost without traveling for the first 6 months.
Nice.
So I was going digital, going online will become the new routine. Unfortunately, my personal opinion, I would say the COVID-19 situation will be lasting like now, or even getting easier, but still there for the next 18 or even 24 months.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. The life, whatever the life or working style is not going to be the same. It's going to be different. So we just need to figure out the way how to adopt that kind of situation, right?
Exactly.
Until the vaccine is alive.
Hopefully.
Anyway,
well, life more goes on, and hopefully people being more digital will use blockchain more. So we have a question from, Rude Potato. We got quite a few. Dan. We also have Duda Huddle. They've always asked about X nodes. So obviously X nodes are one of the original supporters of Vechain. They always want more, right? Can we expect more for X node holders in the short term?
Well, like I said every time, X nodes, there are many benefits for X nodes since the beginning. Creating the X node program is actually wanted to have the long-term vision holder and able to help us and contribute to building up the blockchain or Vechain ecosystem together. For example, not only about economic, but also X nodes have same percentage of voting rights as the entire authority node, like master authority node. So basically, the X node is the owner to decide, and you can cast the very important votes to any fundamental decision of Vechain, from now. And also for the small things like when we do whatever the air job or the discount for the Vechain DevCon or any kind of lucky drawers, XNode always has been considered as a priority. So I would say in a multiple different way, we are continuing to do this. We're delivering our promise, and also I'm welcome to have any kind of suggestions in terms of getting more benefits to XNode. I'm open for that. But again, I cannot guarantee anything because sometimes you got to consider everything. You cannot just say, very simply to think about only the benefits for the XNode. I also have a large node holders to take care as well. So we're never going to stop, but I have to reinforce we're already delivering, the benefits, extra benefits for XNode. And I'm really appreciate the support from XNode holders and, to make it better. And we can continue to do that. And on top of everything, being an XNode holder, someday you're going to be very proud to tell everyone like, dude, I have been an XNode of Vechain since the beginning. Now we're talking about the 10 years anniversary for XNode holder.
It's crazy because it's crazy that will be crazy one day because crypto moves so fast, but I think already in these few years, developments have been moving at rocket pace already. So I think, in 10 years, it's hard to imagine that, but in 10 years, this will be pretty crazy. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Sure.
So taking a few more questions. So anyways, guys, feel free to ask questions. Guys, thank you so much for also participating and helping. And also, I personally have one of the X nodes, and I have to say, you know what? Binance listing has been great because that means the token price of VThor has gone up, but hopefully that has not interrupted with any of the business adoption. That's my biggest concern, I guess. Okay, so let's see. We got questions about when moon.
Sure.
Do you want to answer a when moon question, Sunny?
It's always on the way.
Nice. Okay, so let's see when. Okay, so this is a good question. So we've been this is from Kyle Sweeney. So he says, since you mentioned 10 years, where do you see Vechain in 10 years?
Okay. I have talked about that recently. Firstly, even the blockchain space moves super fast, but eventually building valuable or new ecosystem with new type of whatever the business model or the value model are going to take a long time. So even take 10 years, I would not be surprised, to be honest. That's going to take lots of patience and hard working. Imagine about the internet. internet has been developing for 40, 50 years. And even today, we still can see the place to improve in terms of the internet. But for sure, you can see the big companies like Amazon, Facebook, Alibaba, Tencent, they have been devote themselves sort of for like 15 years or even more until their success or so-called success, right? So I would say there are lots of work to do for Vechain, but I firmly wanted to express in next 10 years, I'm not gonna stop. I'm 40 years old now. I'm not gonna retire like before 50, I guess. I hope. But, so next 10 years, I would say I'm gonna stay in Vechain. I'm gonna continue to make Vechain better and better. That's for sure, and I cover more and more use cases, more and more territories. Like I tell my daughter every time. My daughter usually asks like, "Hey, what do you really do? Like, what's your job for real?" I don't see it. I cannot see it. I can simply to tell my daughter, "Hey, Melissa, your dad is changing the world." It's kind of like, but also I just tell my daughter like, in the next years, I'm not saying 10 years, but I just say next years, um, you gotta have more and more public, whatever the activities or services or value is running on a platform which your dad and the co-workers and the colleagues have been devoting ourselves on that. So yeah, that's and also the VChain is more like Intel inside. VChain is more like stay behind. You are talking about food safety, you're talking about sustainability, you're talking about National Farmer Association, but VChain is not that obvious. VChain should be walking behind. So I would say if we think about Intel inside, we can see, oh, VChain powered. Then I will feel like so proud about that.
So you want to see Vechain powered on everything in 10 years time? That would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, not saying everything per se.
Leave some for the rest. Leave some for the rest. Leave some for IBM, right? Just leave some scraps for them. All right, so I think we're ending up this question. So I think I really definitely appreciate Sunny for coming in. If you guys actually want to ask more questions, I definitely want to have another opportunity. Hopefully we can catch up more in the future. I still have one last good question for this. This is... Yeah. I think, there's a lot of price discussion, but I think this, for me, is actually quite important as well, because it depends on the price per transaction. This comes from Nuno Aka. So what is the highest acceptable price for Vethel? Is there a highest acceptable price for Vethel? So if it goes too high, would you go say, one day, no, we got to do something about it for partners?
Well, actually, there is no highest price of Vethel, such kind of thing. Actually, there is some misunderstanding about the Vethel price and the transaction cost. It's totally different thing. Okay, Vethel price is a price on the trading platform, but doesn't represent the unique unique cost of a transaction. There are different ways to lower the cost for each transaction. Even the Vethel price could be higher. For example, you can go cross using the multitask transaction, that kind of feature. You can have like 100 cross in one transaction, so the unit cost will be lower. And on top of that, we could have some soft fork in terms of to changing the suggested or referenced unit cost of Vethel, or number of Vethel to be consumed for each transaction. Or you can make your smart contract more lean, more simplified. Then you can have a lower cost, lower Vethel to spend. So Vethel price is one thing, but the unit cost of transaction is a different concept.
So quit complaining, code better.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So Let's do two more questions. I think we had a sudden submission of last minute questions here. This one regards BYD and BMW. Can you give us any more updates on what's happening with BYD and BMW partnership? This comes from Vechain Tim.
Actually, other than the public releases, usually the enterprise will. I have to use the three words. I know you guys hate that, but NDA for this. Whatever they try to do, whatever they have been. Well, what I can say is we're still working with that, and not only for just one BYD or one BMW. BMW has lots of territories or regions to cover. We're still working the different phases, but it's just as long as it's released or as long as it's in public. I cannot say anything.
Got it. Okay, so we got Beard Cat says, dodging or maybe parameters of the interview says Box couldn't ask about Ripple rumors. Apparently there's some rumors with Ripple. Is there anything going on or whatnot?
Well, we have been doing several interviews with some KOLs in Ripple. Actually, I do appreciate like DAI, Digital Assets Investor, a very interesting guy and very good conversation. Like I mentioned, Ripple and Vechain will represent two different directions. One focus on financial use case payment. One focus on business applications, business activities. I don't see why we couldn't work together in the future, but let's say so far we didn't there's not too much going on. We're still focused on building applications, but at least if someday there is a bank, there is financial use case or financial requirements, we could take the benefits from or take the advantage of a Ripple use cases or Ripple technologies. I'm not gonna hate it about that.
Okay, awesome. So we have lots of plus questions at the end. I think there's this one that everyone wants to seem to be asked. Apparently, this talk about stable coins or open finance on Vechain. Is there any chance of releasing a euro-backed stable coin soon?
Well, actually, when we talk about a stable coin, we talk about the San Marino projects. Only State San Marino was also has been hit by the COVID-19, even they're a very small country, but statistically, they used to sit in number 3 or number 4, like the bad ladder in terms of the, infected cases.
Mm-hmm.
So they have been in the lockdown phases for quite a few months. But the good news is we kind of resumed the work. They have a new form of like a blockchain association. What I can say, Renato is in the board, and well, okay, that also answered the question about the traveling because I couldn't travel. But the good thing is I'm sending my colleague Jay going to Europe. He gonna stay there for 3 or 4 months, to try to minimize the impacts for 14 days quarantine.
Right.
So he will represent Vechain reboot. Reboot the discussion and implementation for San Marino projects, and stablecoin is definitely one of them.
Got
so it. I can guarantee you that the project is not bad, and actually is getting even better after COVID-19. But we are being postponed for like 6 months almost 6 months during the COVID-19 situation. We just wanted to restart it.
Got it. So thank you guys all for asking questions. I saw a few questions pop up on Player, and the thing with Player is that I do actually have an interview scheduled with Patrick, so I think he's probably the best one to answer Player-based questions. So I'll leave Sunny to deal with Vechain questions. So that's coming up soon, and let's see. So I think that's pretty much good all for the awesome questions, guys. Thank you so much for all participating in this, and thank you, Sunny, for coming in here as well. It's been an amazing time, and hopefully you guys enjoy this interview as well. And we'll see you, Sunny, very, very soon. Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Sunny.